So it's very high odds that this jury will be a Democratic jury, and that does not bode well for former President Donald Trump. That's just the way I see it. If you disagree or agree, put it in the comments. I like to read your comments on it one way or the other. All we can do is just sit back and hope somehow, some way this turns out favorably for the president. But at this point, it does not look good. What I can tell you is the following. President Trump is making lemons out of lemonade to the best, I should say lemonade out of lemons the best way he possibly can. Did y'all see him when he went down to that bodega the other day? Let's take a look at I got one or two little screenshots I want us to take a look at, then we'll talk about it. Here's the first one.
Come on, Papa. What's up with you? I don't want a promo, Papa. What's wrong with you? I know doing that's a little girl. So why you snatch anything on it?
Oh, anybody remember this from 2 years ago? In New York City, the man in the green shirt, that's Jose Alba, and he's about to be attacked by the man in the white shirt. Alba works at the store. The other guy, well, is irate for a couple of different reasons, and he proceeds to attack Mr. Alba. And it gets really bad, and Mr. Alba decides to defend himself with a knife. Just about everybody who's seen this thinks that Jose Alba, that this was justified self-defense. Guess who charged him? Guess who threw him in jail? Alvin Bragg, the same man who was prosecuting and persecuting Donald Trump. Well, this was a major moment for New York and actually for the country. And Donald Trump went to the scene today. After his time in court, he went up to that bodega in Upper Manhattan, met with the people, talked with them, shook hands. He was greeted in that primarily black and Latino neighborhood as a hero. Really is something. You know, talk about making lemonade out of lemons. Donald Trump is addressing a very important issue. And maybe while he's here in New York, he can flip New York, right? You see, because he's going to be able to campaign here every day. And there's a hunger for law and order in this city. Donald Trump spoke just a little while ago.
This is a very exciting time for me because the bodegas, the association invited me, and I respect them and they respect me. They want law and order. They have a lot of crime, tremendous crime, where their stores are being robbed. And as you know, we're going to give New York a very good shot for the presidency. We think we should be able to do it. A lot of things have changed. Lee Zeldin did a beautiful job. He ran, he lost by a little bit. And New York's a lot different. And we'll work with the mayor, and we'll work with the governor, and we'll bring in a lot of federal money, but we have to straighten out New York, and that includes crime. And these guys have great people, great friends, but they have tremendous crime, so we're going to straighten it out.
Black and Latinos, hundreds of them, yelling out 4 more years for Donald Trump. You know, this whole indictment could blow up in their face all over again. New York State has not gone Republican, I think, since 1984 when Ronald Reagan won it. And then he's right. There's something happening here in New York City. Upstate, that's Trump country. You know, a while back in December, Cara Castronova, who was a reporter here at the time, went up to the Bronx, went out to the neighborhood and talked to people, a lot of people of color, and said, what are you thinking? This is a Democrat stronghold. You're going for Joe Biden, right? I'm
going to vote for Trump if he runs because I feel like it was much better when he was here financially for everybody, not just me, for everybody.
I'm definitely voting for Donald Trump. He made sure we had money in our pockets. He was for the people. He made sure we had what we needed. I feel like everything will go back to how it was. I mean, ever since he's been out of office, everything's declined.
When Trump was president, my life was good. Economical-wise, I was doing so much better.
They're saying it's going to be Biden-Trump, so who will you vote for?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to go for Trump. Sorry.
I'm gonna go for Trump. Trump. How about always Trump? Here, let me see. Who are you voting for? Trump.
All right. It's huge. We've never seen anything like this in a very, very long time, if ever. I love it, don't you? All right.
All right. I like that. This particular program on, I believe that's Newsmax. That's Greg Jarrett are one of the personalities over there. That Newsmax program, generally, most of the stories that I have seen over there are pretty decent. So if you haven't checked them out, make sure you check them out. I just think it's something that you should see. I like the way that Donald Trump, he's not able to travel and to go where he needs to go to campaign. So why not? He's going to go ahead and go to the bodegas and highlight the nuttiness of Alan Bragg, that bodega owner that you saw earlier. That's the one that was attacked and originally charged with attempted murder or murder, whichever charge it was, just for defending himself in his store after he was attacked. And then, of course, when the national press grabbed hold of it, he decided to go ahead and back off that. But remember something else, too. This particular case, it's only a rush to judgment, if you will. It's a rush to convict President Trump because they went ahead and moved this to the head of the line. You know how they always say, hey, no one's above the law? Well, no one's below the law either. And to emphasize that, I want you to hear Judge Janine, what she had to say about this.
But here's the issue. The case should never have been brought. The truth is that there are people, criminals, defendants in jail on violent crimes long before this indictment was brought against Donald Trump, whose case should have been prioritized, as opposed to their reaching out and pulling out the most recent case with a defendant who's not charged with a violent crime, who is not in jail, and they're saying, let's try this first. Why? It's political. It's all political.
That's exactly right. That is exactly correct. Let's hope he gets 4 more years on there. Hey, Zach, thanks for joining us. Sorry about the notification coming in late to you right there. Folks, right now you hear the Democrats, especially President Biden, talking all the time about how democracy is on the election ballot. And you know what? I agree. It is on the ballot, but it's not the way Joe Biden wants you to believe it's on the ballot. It's on the ballot because if it continues the way the Democrats under Joe Biden are running things, we are really going to have problems. And here's a video to drive that home. Tell me what you think.
It dignifies this assault to even pretend that there is a legal theory here. The only legal theory at question is trying to throw Joe Biden's political opponent behind bars. That is it. So when you hear them say that democracy is on trial, they're right. Democracy is on trial. Freedom is on trial. The rule of law is on trial. All these things are on trial. They are on trial with Donald Trump. Because if Donald Trump is convicted, then
we're on trial.
Stephen are convicted and destroyed with him.
Stephen Miller, you and I are on trial. Every single person watching is on trial right now. Because if they can do this to someone, they can to Trump, they can do it to anyone. That's a coined phrase. But think about.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. There is democracy on trial, but it's not the way that the mainstream press would want you to think that it's on trial for. It's just simply not true. And when you hear them talk about how the Republicans are into violence and the Republicans are trying to stir up trouble, take a look at this.
Press always asks me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym. That's what I wish.
I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
That you cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.